Is this the year you buy your first home or even your second and third home? Well, we're glad you found us. We'll be going over the 5 basic steps to buy a home in our beautiful state of Kentucky.
And we're starting right now.
We're Greg and Shelly Hanson with Hanson Home Team, James Realty Group here in Elizabethtown, serving all of Central Kentucky. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap that bell to get notified of future videos we post.
Thank you for tuning in, because we know the home buying process can be overwhelming. In today's video, we're going to be breaking it down into 5 steps. Okay, so the first step is your pre-approval. Very important. Second step, starting your search with a realtor. Fun. Third step, submitting an offer. Fourth step, the pending process in Kentucky. And your 5th step is closing.
So step 1 is the pre-approval process. It's number 1 for a reason, as it's the most important step, especially in this hot seller's market that we're in right now.
You're going to talk to a lender, find out how much home you can actually afford. And depending on your job or your situation, there's varying levels of documentation they're going to ask for. They're going to ask you about your current debt to determine your debt-to-income ratio. So your debt-to-income ratio is your income versus the debt you hold now, and that's going to determine how much home you can actually afford.
And we'll be going over that more in depth in a later video.
Okay, so they're also going to pull your credit and look at your FICO score. Your FICO score is your middle score out of the 3 credit bureaus. All of this to determine how much home you can afford.
You don't be looking at $300,000 houses if you're approved for $200,000.
Yeah, that could be a big problem. So there's nothing worse than falling in love with a house and then finding out that you're just not qualified for that much home and having to start that search all over again. So step 2, this is where the fun really begins. This is where you're going to start deciding the area that you want to live in. You probably already have an idea about that. Schools, is that something that's important to you? What schools would you like your children to attend if you have kids? Amenities, do you want a new build versus an existing home? Your commute time, all the things that are important for you or your family, those are the things that you're deciding right now.
So we'll also be looking at some of the features that you're going to want in a house, like how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, the acreage, how big is the yard, is it fenced in, does it have a basement, style of home, etc.
Finding a good realtor is key to helping you navigate your home search. Typically there's nothing out of your pocket and the commission is paid by the seller at closing. Also, they'll be able to give you more accurate, up-to-date access for the listings because they have access to the MLS, which is the multiple listing service.
The syndicated sites don't always have the most up-to-date information. Sometimes a home will be listed as active when in actuality it's not, it's pending, or it's active under contract, it might have a contingency on it. So
yeah, or it just hasn't caught up yet.
Yeah.
In today's market, you need to be in the know as soon as possible.
Absolutely. So instead of calling the listing agent on the signs of each home you look at, a realtor will have your best interest in mind as the buyer's agent.
They can do comparables and let you know how the house is on the market compared to the ones you're looking at. Step 3, you found your house. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So now you need to decide what you want to offer. In that offer, you're going to decide the offer price, which has a lot of variables right there. You need to know, is it a seller's market? Is it a buyer's market? How many days on the market has the home that you're offering on been listed? Each situation is unique, and that's why it's so important to have a real estate agent that is in your corner. Now you also have to decide on other things like your closing costs. Are you going to cover them, or are you going to ask the seller to cover them? Are you going to have inspections done? We think this is a good idea. We always recommend
Highly recommend.
whole home inspection and any other inspections that would pertain to that home.
Septic, fireplace, all those.
Yeah, all that stuff. What's your closing time frame? It's a good idea to have your realtor ask the listing agent what's important to the seller so that your offer can stand out. Say you're good with a 30-day close, but they really need a 45-day close. If that's something that you can accommodate, why not put that in there?
A good agent will go over the offer with you. Once you sign it, he or she will submit the offer to the listing agent. This is where you may have counteroffers back and forth. But once there's a meeting of the minds and the offer is accepted, it becomes a fully signed contract.
Or an executed contract. So once everyone's signed and you have that accepted contract, you will be expected to give your earnest money that you agreed upon in the contract. Earnest money is a way to show your sincerity to buy the home. Some people call it skin in the game.
All right, step 4, the pending process. Congratulations, you have a contract.
From here, you're going to send your contract to the lender. This is a very important step as they need as much time to process this loan as possible. So day 1, you want to get that to your lender, or your real estate agent can send it to your lender. Another important day 1, maybe day 2 step is to set up your inspections. You're going to have a certain time frame, usually between 10 and 15 days, depending on what was agreed upon in the contract, to get your inspections done and any repairs that you are wanting to ask for sent over to that seller. So say it's 10 days, you have to have everything there by that 10th day. And that comes up on you pretty quickly. So you're going to want to call those inspectors either that first day or that second day, but you want to get that done as soon as possible. Plus, it helps you know whether or not this is the home that you want to move forward with. What if there's something majorly wrong with this home?
Yeah, like foundation issues or something like that. You want to move on to the next house as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. So in the background, while this is all being done, your lender will have sent the contract also to a title company, and they're going to start doing the title work in the background. They're just basically making sure that the seller can sell you this home and that you can buy this home cleanly. Okay, so you're also going to need to make sure that the contingencies that both you as the buyer and the seller agreed upon in the contract have been addressed. You're also going to need to make sure that the conditions have been met for your loan. Conditions are usually sent over from the underwriter to the lender, and the lender lets you know the different things that you need to bring in. Usually it's documentation, things like that. They'll give you a list of things that you need to do. You need to get those things completed as quickly as possible, or it can delay the loan. All this stuff is working towards 3 amazing words.
Clear to close.
Yep, that's exciting. Once you get that clear to close, you're ready for the next step.
Closing. Closing day is easily the best day of the entire process.
Yes, it is. This is where you're going to sign all your documents, get the keys to your new home. Closing is typically at a title company or your real estate brokerage. This is where you're going to sign a huge stack of paperwork, and the seller is going to sign a much smaller stack. You're going to be a little jealous.
Yeah.
Make sure you bring 2 forms of ID with you. Once all that paperwork has been signed, you get your keys, garage door openers, codes to security system.
We always recommend getting new keys made, as you don't know how many people have had a copy of that key.
Could be that they gave the key to a neighbor and forgot all about it. Could be that they gave the key to a contractor and forgot about that. You just don't know.
So it's better be safe than sorry. Rekey. So there's one last unofficial step, the housewarming party.
Yes.
Who doesn't like a good party?
I know that we like a good party, so don't forget to invite your agent. Hey, tune in next week when we have our next video coming out, and we look forward to seeing you then.
All right, see you later.
You found your house.
Nope,
and...
nope, here's my nose.
Okay. So step 3, you found your house. You want to make an offer. So there's a lot that's going to go into that offer.
Your nose is itching now?
Yep.
Let's just itch all of our noses all at the same time. Okay, got it.
Okay. Know any real estate agents that don't like a good party, and we definitely know that we love a good party. So don't forget to invite your agent.
They'll love you a long time.
Yep, you sure will. Don't do that part.